Here's adventure.
His fast gun for hire heeds the calling wind.
This is high noon and welcome. Are you prepared to draw? I hope so. And I don't mean any of that liver-lizzied, gun-slinging stuff. And I don't mean any of that arty stuff. I'm here to do that. Yous all will just draw together, become family, friends, help each other, support each other, all that stuff. This is a place to have a good old time, friends and frolic, and all that stuff. Okay? This is it.
Hello, one and all. How are we all today? Hope we are all doing good. Got a few more sketch cards to do. One for Marsupial, one for Christopher Crunk, and one for one other person that's yet to get back to me. And I gotta get to them. So today we're going to do 2 sketch cards. One of Snowdrift for Christopher Crunk. Since he said it doesn't matter. I know Marsupial said it doesn't matter either. So that's good. Okay, so the head in here first. Hey Twix, how are you? So some good news. Comic books are off to the printers. Not comic book, coloring book is off to the printers. It should be in at the end of next week. So with everything going so smoothly, I would say, this time, we have June for our deadline of putting out. Everybody should have it by the end of April. Mid-April. And what was I thinking? What happened that was good on a completely other note? Oh, thanks to Fan Art Fridays, when I was talking to Eric Ninotowski, more from the chat, and I was asking him to DM me how much it would cost to have the piece he created about a month ago on there for the Canadian Shield that I colored. And, well, he said I could have it for free, so that's going because that's gonna when I get the pre-launch campaign up for the Canadian Shield 2 and Snowdrift number 1, that is going to be the front of the trading card for it. I'm going to be trying to figure out the power scale for the Canadian Shield. Oh, and other good news is I was talking to the current artist of the Canadian Shield number 2, and he has agreed to do Snowdrift number 1. We came to an agreement on price. So again, that's good. You know, 3 major things, good things this week happened. How are you, Twix? Are you still here? Okay, what are we doing? See if this one is right. It seems pretty good. I have my mic on. Can people hear me? Yeah, people hear me. Oh. Hey, John. Not much. I'm doing up one of my sketch cards for the campaign. Doing a snowdrift for Christopher Crump. Um, what else? Good news is I got the book all ordered. It should be in at the end of next week. So people should be getting their book by the end of April or sooner. Whoever ordered. Other good news is the piece that Eric Minotowski did, that fan art. Let's see. I think you should remember it. this piece that I colored, it's going, I got his permission to use it on a trading card for the campaign, which I'll be giving away for free, or probably as a sign-up thing for the pre-launch campaign. And the artist for why not the cover? Well, because the shields, I don't think gonna get the the thing torn in it, so I didn't want to. Although I wouldn't think it technically false advertising, but covers are, dramatic. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for the cover yet, but the artist for the Canadian Shield #1 is doing Snowdrift. The artist for Canadian Shield #2 is doing Snowdrift #1 as well. I don't know what I'm going to come up with for the covers for them yet. I know Elrick's wanting to do a variant cover for Snowdrift #1. Hey, Mallet. How are you? And how are you too, John? I'm not sure whether I actually asked. But I guess I know the cover would be a draw in 2. But, this... and the great thing is, too, Eric said I could use this for free, too. So I was asking him how much it would cost me, and he was nice enough to say for free, so... I'm thinking it'll be a draw to get people to sign up for getting the free sketch trading card. And I'm going to actually try and get the powers define, the outer reach limits between now and then, and do the power sort of stuff on the back. Power levels. So that's doing better without the black behind it. And I'm thinking of trying to get somebody to do a Snowdrift one similar that I'd like to try and do the same thing with. So with the delivery date on the coloring book for June and getting it out in April to everybody. I think that looks good, like 2 months early. And maybe by the summer or just the end of the summer, we might be able to get the campaign started. As soon as I get some images from Ephraim for Snowdrift, I've asked him to do 3 or 4 pages of Snowdrift before doing any more on Canadian Shield. Well, finish up the one that he was on, and then that way I can get a pre-launch campaign up ASAP. I'd just like to have some stuff on it before I do. Snowdrift stuff. We want your artist on stream. Yeah, I'm working on that. Hopefully, once I get a few pages of Snowdrift from him, I'll probably try and have him on. And have the pre-launch campaign up. And if everything goes good with this campaign, well, I'll be getting him to do Canadian Shield #3 for sure. Hopefully, I'll be able to get another artist or two for the other ones. That way, as soon as I know I have enough money to pay for them, we will be getting them started right away during the campaign. Yeah, we'll have the pre-launch launch campaign party. On high noon. So, we do have, there's, I'm already starting to work on the campaign for Snowdrift number 1 and Canadian Shield number 2. So, that will be great. Having him here. And who knows, maybe more and more we'll have him on stream if he wants. Hopefully as we get more artists and various people on board, we will expand to be having them on a regular basis. If they want to come on, of course. Nobody's going to be forced to do something they don't want to do. But yeah, I've already talked with him about coming on, and he's all game for it. And for those that care, he is actually Comicsgate, from what I can tell, too. Because he recently put out a a tweet saying he loves Comicsgate. That all sounds like great news and progress. Very exciting. Yeah, well, I was hoping it'd be great news to people. Exciting. Some major things happening throughout this last week. If you're still here, Mom, can you bring me in some blue markers? A bunch of them. Put them in a small box or bin or whatever. Bring in as many as you can. Oh, and then I need to still find my yellows. Oh yeah, and as of now also too, I have all the money together to pay him for Canadian Shield. And even the few pages that he's doing for Snowdrift ahead of time. Or so even when he's done. So it's working on making sure I have all the money for Snowdrift now. Hey, Eagle. How are you? Okay, I don't think my mom is here. So... Or she's not listening. So we're going to put this on. I'll be back shortly. While I go get some blue markers to start coloring this in. Okay, I'm back. You will see. You'll work on the card very shortly. So what's everybody got going on today? What's new and exciting since yesterday on the RPG? Very blurry. Please adjust the camera. Well, I'm not sure what I can do to adjust the camera because I have it hooked up somewhere, and if I take it off there, that's what happens. Maybe I can hook it up off my magnifying glass. It's still a little blurry, but at least you can see a little better. Just drawing, nothing exciting. And hello, Derek, too. How are you? Fortunately, I got a very cheap camera at the moment. I got a couple cameras a few weeks ago that I might be able to use if I can actually figure out how to get them hooked up and being used. Hey, Sketchbook. Yeah, well, not much I can do about the out of focus. I don't know why it's out of focus. I don't have any controls for it. For focus, at least not that I'm aware of. Oh yeah, I'm always producing content. I'm on YouTube 5 days a week doing something. Monday through Friday I'm here at noon. And then 10 as well, Eastern Standard Time. Could it be... Could OBS be losing my focus or restream? Buffering. Configure video. See. Camera control? Oh. Okay. Give me a sec, folks. I might actually be able to do something about my camera. I'm going to put it on that and see whether I can do anything. I might have to be off stream and not using it too. I just found some camera controls in the thing. Put brightness for me. Sharpness. Concentration. For contrast. Okay, that's way too much. Configure video. Okay, so I think I'm going to actually check this stuff out off stream then. Not when I'm on stream. I was hoping you could adjust it on stream, but at least for the camera controls, but it doesn't appear as though I can. Power line frequency. Let's... maybe it has a manual focus ring. Really hard to look at. No, this doesn't have a... Well, maybe. There's sort of a ring there. It turns, but okay, let's click OK for now. Let's take that down. Ooh, that's worse. Good God. Do that and come back. This is unbearable. Is that better now? No, whatever. Who cares? Well, I care. I'll check back later. Well, it's probably not going to be any better here if I don't do anything more. Just or at least not today, or maybe tonight. We should say, not this session. Well, that is not. You have over half an hour left to stream. Why not at least try to make it viewable? Well, this looks viewable to me. I'm looking at it over OBS. Maybe I should go look on it on Restream or YouTube. Why? Because I don't want to shut my stream down and start again. It's hard enough to get viewers here. Okay, okay, I'll let blur. When it's smaller, it's not as blurry, but when it's bigger, it's really blurry. Can't win for losing. And hello, Timothy. How are you? I don't know how it's going to be better in 10. You know what? I'm going to put it back up where it was. Bring it back out, so let's go to put a line. And then let's put it in right here. Well, I guess it's a good thing me and Dillard aren't a couple, eh, Timothy? Yeah, these are cards, some sketch cards that were sort of ordered with the campaign. Two things had them, or one, technically only one had them, and then Marsupial asked whether he could still get the sketch card if he upgraded it, and I said yes. So I figured what he upgraded to, the other person that got it should get it. So I have to do 3 sketch cards for my campaign. One of which I've done already. 2 people said they don't care what character, so I'm giving one of them a Snowdrift. And I'm not sure what I'm giving the other yet. And then I still got to figure out what the 4th person wants. So I'll probably have to email them again today. Good thing I have till like next week to find all this out. Because I got the books ordered today, or well, actually Saturday technically. They should be here for the 31st of March, approximately. Other good news is, you weren't here to hear, this piece by Eric Munotowski that he drew up for Fan Art Friday over on his channel, which you should try and get there, Timothy. Get him to draw up Melvin, and then he'll send it to you just for what it costs to mail it. Now he was nice enough, and I asked him about using this as a trading card for a free giveaway on my campaign for those. Well, I didn't say for those who sign up, but I'm going to use this hopefully to bring people in. And on the back, hopefully I'm going to have the power settings for the Canadian Shield. Maybe sort of finally put, that stuff in. Limit some stuff for him, figure it out. Well, figuring out what that stuff is. And other good news is the guy who is drawing up the Canadian Shield number 2 is now also drawing up Snowdrift number 1. And I got them for the same price as the Canadian Shield number 2. I will probably, of course, be coloring that still, like I'm coloring the Canadian Shield. So as long as everything goes right, the coloring book should be in people's hands by the end of April, thus being 2 months early. And hopefully by that time I will have a few pages of Snowdrift number 1, and I will probably be doing a launch party for the pre-launch. Which at that point, hopefully, that'll be on a high noon, and we should be having the artist on. Hey, Rebellious. How are you? Okay, let's see what this looks like when we do it. That looks good. Now it's blurred in. It's not going to get better, Dillard, so just why even check back? I can't win. What will you be serving at this party launch? I have no idea. I don't even know when it's going to be precisely yet. Hurt due to sunburn. Ooh, not good. But I do know what that is like. Oh, I've had the sunburns. Yeah. Trying to find a blue for the hair. Nope. Too dark. Party launch? Yeah. Party launch for the pre-launch. Ouch, must be 3rd degree sunburn. Maybe. And I will get shot on 3rd sunburn arm today. Ooh, not good. I'm working on a blue line sketches for Armed Forces pinups. Just finishing the 5th sketch now. Cool. Shot, cool. But she needs to be identifiable as a F. I need an outfit idea. Have you looked up anything maybe from the past that they've done, John? You know, like posters from the past? I know you don't want to do the same, but it could give you a reference idea. Maybe. Too thin to do anything. I hate looking through, trying to find just the right marker. I think that'll be good. I don't think it's quite as dark as I want, but it's better than nothing. I want it to look original. Yeah, I know. I figured. But it needs to be identifiable as an Air Force pinup. Well, that's why I just saying you get an idea of the look of what the Air Force uniform looks like. Or Or maybe you could look up a present day uniform. Although probably the present day ones aren't as good as the ones in the past. The pin-ups. I doubt there's any pin-up stuff for nowadays. Of course, there's always a skirt. I don't know what they look like nowadays. So I'm not sure what you could do exactly to make it look original. And I take it this is for the U.S. Air Force. They got more. Some of the women that are in leadership look like they're in skirts, but I'm not sure whether that's what you'd want. Obviously, I'd probably put her next to a jet or on a jet. But most of these, they look like they're in coveralls, so don't think that works, obviously. Or maybe zip down a little bit the coveralls, revealing some of cleavage, bosom. Pimp jet, electric pimpaloo. And you might have to have the helmet in the picture too. Maybe her holding a gun, pointed up in one hand. Ooh, maybe here. That's pretty much done. I just need to do some thing. Let's see. Let's see. Maybe you could have the jet like there, you know, wing, tail, wing. Probably want to get in a little bit closer. Obviously, the thing up, maybe the ladder there, and then you have her. Here, you know, gun, you know, arm here, gun, other arm here with thing in the middle, and you just, like I said, you have the coveralls coming down a bit so you can see some bosom. Just a little bit of hair flaring in the wind because I don't think too many of them have long hair. No, just body only. So no background at all, John? Because if you have a background, maybe you just, instead of the whole jet, you just really up close focus on maybe about that bit. Well, I guess you could have the ladder then. Put her leg up, one leg up on one of the steps. Leg down. Still, just take the jet out then. The ladder's background, but it's not. So I guess, you know, you have it. Maybe I'll have to adjust it for the right thing and then. You know, have that down that way you see some side bob. Yeah, but if you're trying to make a sexy pose and putting her using a ladder to do it, is that background at all or not? Then you have the, it's like having, I don't know, a rock or something. Yeah, I guess you could have her one elbow then also propped up on it with her hand there, and gun. To that, or just close up like that. Coverall. I was asking the outfit idea is not the fight. Oh yeah, well. There's not much to go with outfits for what they have. If you're supposed to be doing something sexy, it's just figuring out a way to do it sexy. Guess that's what I was suggesting along with the outfit. Because coveralls aren't that sexy. And that's what most of them wear. So, you know what? I need to finish off my vision as well. What did I put? Plenty of ideas if you Googled it. Says Timothy. Just Google war. Yeah, but you want something original, Timothy. Mine's probably not original though. Somebody's probably thought of it. There's nothing new under the sun, right? Well, so there's vision done. Now, I don't really have a... I gotta wait to find... There's new stuff all the time. What the hell are you? Maybe new ways of doing stuff, but, you know, they're just doing the same old stuff. How you do it might be new, but what you're doing most likely isn't new. Okay, so what am I going to do for marsupial? Vanity, vanity, always vanity. For instance, having a bad guy have his own title, not new, but the way you did it was in a new way. What do I want to do? Who do we think I should draw my characters for marsupial? That's the most thing I've ever heard. What? Timothy's comment or something I said? Or both of us? Give me a link, Rick. Okay, give me a sec. I need to put my headphones in and switch to them. That's probably the most thing I've ever heard. This is Joshua. Hey Joshua, how are you? Where is Mr. Dillard? This list of people. Paste. There you go. There is the link, Mink. Hello, John.
What the hell are you guys talking about? There's nothing new to make.
Well, you know, Solomon said there's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah, Solomon, the fool.
yet the wisest person alive at the time. Or
And that was
Said
how
to-
long ago?
and said to date too. And hello, Lorenzo. Did Rick just say Asian racist slur? I don't think so. Quite some time ago.
What's up, Lorenzo? People make new stuff. Just because something exists in the world doesn't mean you can't make something new. Just because you make a character and because men already exist in the world doesn't mean you can't make a new character. What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, but are you? Yeah, you can make a new character, but has somebody already basically done it? Like, ice powers have been done over and over, heat powers have been done over and over and over, super strength, flight, probably every single power has been done.
Yes, you can always make something new. Just like there are characters that are garbage, but just because they were done before doesn't mean they were any good, or they were done correctly, or to their full potential.
And Timothy's saying that's not what I said.
It's exactly what he said.
I said, how you do it might be new, but the thing itself probably isn't new.
So when somebody said, "Hey, I'm gonna make a character," right? Like Batman, that's already been done before.
Yeah, apparently, because, the Shadow, Zorro.
About the shadow, the shadow does not dress like a bat. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but they have similar motifs and all that.
So what? So what? If it's similar, it's still new.
Yeah, but they're just taking something that was old.
No, they're not just
And-
doing anything.
and doing a tweak on it. It was,
Yeah, Solomon was crazy.
Solomon,
Deserved to die.
Solomon had a bunch of wives who manipulated him into worshiping false idols. Well, I'm not sure whether they manipulated him or not. Most of those wives were due to alliances, treaties, and that's why he got most of them. Who knows how much time he spent with most of them. Lorenzo. But yeah,
What does that matter? How much time he spent with most of them?
Well, they can't manipulate you into worshiping something if they're not getting time to spend with you.
Well, then why did he?
Because he was an idiot.
There you go. That's what I just said when I came on.
But he was an idiot in that way, but we also know God did give him wisdom beyond anything known at the time and probably possibly known now.
It's exactly. The Shadow is nothing like Batman. Just because you can pick out a similarity between two. I mean, yes, so, this guy's 6 foot tall and this guy's also 6 foot tall. It must be a copy. There's nothing new under the sun. It's the most ridiculous excuse I ever heard for being uncreative.
No, see, that's why you have to be creative.
I seen an anime.
I'm only planning on having one Raggedy.
I seen an anime back in the day. Gorgeous, beautiful camera work, all kinds of craziness happening. I'd never seen anything like that before. Just because animes existed, or the fact that it was taking place during a war, and wars have existed before, doesn't mean that it isn't new. There's always a new way to do things.
The product is new, but is the concept new?
Yes, it was a new concept. Nobody had ever done it before.
Nobody had done something on war before?
See, now you're going back to the same old. That's the exact example I just used.
Well, that's just, probably the beginning. I don't know enough about the particular thing.
All right, take something that everybody's heard of, right? Like I don't know, a cell phone.
Yeah.
That's been done before?
Well,
when Steve Jobs came out and he was announcing all of his products, and because all these things had been done before, right? Because the iPhone was based on the iPod.
Yeah.
They brought it out as, we got a new thing. It's an iPod. It's an iPod, and you can have all your music on this thing, but it's also a telephone. Okay, but telephones already existed, so there's no new ideas?
Well, they were just combining two things. Your traveling music and your phone.
Oh, Lord Almighty.
That's how they got innovative. Timothy said it's called a Star Trek communicator. Yeah, I was thinking that too.
No, I've seen a communicator on Star Trek. They look nothing like it.
Yeah, but they were almost like a cell phone. Your flip phone just basically resembled them a lot.
Rick, it's 2021. I don't have a flip phone.
Yeah, well, somebody innovated. Heck, they went beyond that. Heck, in the next generation, you have the comm badge where you just touch it and basically say who you want it to dial. It's like, Commander Riker, and it rings up Commander Riker. You can do that with some of your cell phones.
Was that innovative, Rick, or was that already been done before?
They were just innovating on the communicator, making it smaller.
Because the communicator already existed.
Yeah.
And because if you take that line of logic and go back in time and say, well, a voice is just a communicator. It's already been done before. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard.
I'm not sure whether a voice, I'd go back and say a voice, but...
So who was the first person, who was it, Graham Bell, to create a communicator? Was it the Morse code? How far do you got to go back to give credit to somebody as creating something new?
I don't know. I guess it depends on the thing.
I can almost guarantee you that whoever created the first quote-unquote communicator came after Solomon.
Possibly.
Possibly or yes? 100% sure. You are correct, John.
I am not 100% sure that you're correct.
You see how there's no goodwill in this conversation. You're dead set on your point of view.
Well, I've heard about watching some of these ancient technologies, stuff that could be possibly construed as communication devices, over long distances. Signal fires.
So the first Indian that hobbled out of a cave and put a blanket over a fire and was doing smoke signals. He's the innovator.
Maybe he's the original communicator. I don't know. That did that. Communicating over long distances.
There's always new things happening.
Lorenzo says, "Let's not invent the computer kids." There's nothing.
It's the first guy to actually the first guy to hobble out of his cave, and instead of talking, yelled really loud to somebody far away. Was he the first communicator?
Sure.
It's like, that guy just raised his voice because the innovator.
We're just thinking of better ways to do the things we already are doing. Well, sometimes better ways, sometimes more, depending on what field you're in. Lorenzo's what's a phone?
And he says, let's not invent the computer because, hey, there's nothing new under the sun.
And Joshua.
Because the whole point of that statement isn't to curtail innovation, correct?
No.
The main point of that statement was to teach whoever was reading it that you can predict things.
Yeah, and the basics of humanity are there. We're always just going to be doing the same things, just different ways. You know, people are always going to sin. You know, it's just going to find a new way to sin. You know, people are going to get angry. We're going to find a new way to, maybe a new way to express it or whatever. But you know, stuff is there. You know.
Yes, I know.
Vanity of vanities, you know. We think we're doing. We think
get that statement. What is that statement?
We think we're doing all this crap, you know, all this great stuff. When
Rick, this is a Christian channel.
When the basic concept's been done before, you're just finding a new way to do it.
What do you mean a new way to do it? There's no such thing as something new, Rick, remember?
Like I said, I think it means the basic concepts are already there. You know, you can innovate the concept, but you've just innovated it. You haven't, maybe you've done, to some standards you've done it, something spectacular, to some you haven't. Timothy says it's new and yet not new. It's both. Or the ideas were always around.
That's a terrible statement. Don't even read statements like that. What the hell?
He says, or the ideas were always around in one way or another. Bullet says, I've always been that most things have already been done. They're more simple, broken down form, the hero's journey, etc. But it's how you arrange them and present them that matters.
Even in that aspect, there was some blowhard that wrote a book that talked about how there's only like 8 different kinds of plots and 16 different types of stories. And then John Crisfalucci came around and invented the type of story called the psychodrama. And it was like, wait a minute. Well, yes, that had also never been done before. It was a way to tell a story that had never been done before.
Mallet says, Rick, did you know statistically most Asians hate is done by non-whites? No.
What the hell is Mallet talking about?
Yeah, that's just out of nowhere.
Leave it to a white person to bring up Asian hate. Good Lord.
Let's see. Raggedy says, is this just Rick's way of justifying his many Wonder Woman knockoffs? Joshua's what the heck with something. Laugh out loud. I'm sorry if my ideas are hard for you to grasp, John. Psychodrama? Says Timothy. Although those last 2 statements were Timothy's.
You should have a rooftop Korean story. What? The Asians don't need your help. They proved that during the LA riots. They don't need nobody's help.
Yeah, most of the attacks have been by non-white attackers, says Bullet.
Are they talking about that guy that shot up the massage house ladies?
I think so. I don't know. What are you guys talking about? Give us a clue here. We're not exactly psychics. We may be sidekicks, but we're not sidekicks. I don't know whether they're being hunted in the streets, Joshua. I think that's a little...
What is that? Every day I hear more people complaining that their people are being hunted in the streets. Well, stay home. Oh. Not every place is a safe place to be, Rick.
True. Mallet says they are being hunted by brown people.
What?
I guess the Asians. The yellow people are being hunted by brown people.
That's just very... That's no good, Rick. I think you know that.
Hey, I'm not the one saying it, you know.
Yeah, you are.
Ethan's channel was struck over an Asian joke. Oh, wow. Some people are a little too sensitive.
Like, there are actual racist people like Rick in this world that need to be stopped. Most people are good people.
I'm the furthest thing you can get from racist.
That's not true at all.
Timothy says, "Welcome to America, where everyone is some kind of victim."
Let's see, Mallet says, also, I need to back out of the buckler box. All right. That's terrible news.
Well, you just gotta make sure whoever is supposed to send it to him knows.
Well, you were supposed to send it to JP.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
I guess I gotta send it to whoever was supposed to be after him.
Mallet says, I just can't be bothered. Damn, I'm sorry. Look at Timothy. He's writing in your chat cuss word.
Rick is anti-racist. That's right. Rick is anti-racist. Why can't people be like John and just not give up? Meep. Meep.
I actually had an epiphany. Well, it probably wasn't an epiphany because there's nothing new under the sun. But I had an epiphany about myself. I was on this stream with this lady named Eagle Rose.
Oh yeah, Eagle Rider.
And Eagle Rider.
Yeah, that's Rosetta's name now.
I don't know.
For thing.
Well, something like that. The words Rose, Rider, and Eagle are in her name. I was on a stream. I'm doing an interview, and she's very much into what do you call it?
The military?
No, she's very much into talking about like how your past influences who you are.
Yeah,
talks about that a great deal, and how things are now because of how things that happened to you. And I was trying to think about all this stuff, but regardless of that, I kind of had an epiphany as I was kind of talking, worked it out, that my main problem is that I'm not empathetic enough.
uh-huh.
Like, I feel for people, right? I say, oh, this guy's going through a hard time, and I feel bad for this person. So, I'll say, hey, I'll give this guy a ride. He's walking, obviously walking home from the Walmart with the cart full of groceries in the rain. Let me stop and give this guy a ride to wherever he's going, right? But I don't want to hear your sob story while you're in the car. That's my weakness.
Yeah.
That's my failing, my downfall. I don't care. I don't want to hear your story. Like, I shut up. I don't want to hear it. Like, I'm not going to sit there with you and be like, oh, man, this is terrible. Tell me all about it.
Yeah.
At the most, like, I know, like, at a funeral, I'll go and sit with somebody in silence.
Yeah.
To be a comfort. But I'm not going to go and, have a conversation about it.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's because you don't know what to say, probably.
Oh, I always know exactly what to say. I just don't want to talk sometimes. And somebody going through grief doesn't evoke the desire for me to change that or talk to them.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
A little. But the question is, why are you like that?
That's the question.
Could be many reasons for it.
There's a bunch of reasons it could be, but what I think it is kind of like a, what do you call it? Like a detachment caused by probably depression when I was younger.
Maybe. For sure. Dillard Bullet says, yeah, Dillard comes on Rick's channel. There was Lorenzo says, does this make Dillard a psychopath?
Sociopath. What is a sociopath exactly? Let me look up what a sociopath. I hear that word a lot. It seems like a word that people use more frequently nowadays as because they don't want to say psychopath. Let me look up what it means.
Bullet did say Malin pimped the boomerang box on his last night on his stream.
Yeah, who told me that? Somebody hit me up on Twitter and said that happened. So hopefully that thing is going out pretty soon to I think the next after Malin it's going to Adam Post.
Oh, cool.
I think, and after Adam Post it's going to Riot Kitty. So that's good. Okay, here's a WebMD. What is the difference between a psychopath and a sociopath? Well, let's see here. You won't find the definition in the Mental Health Official Handbook. I have that book. My wife had to get it for one of her classes. It's a good read, Rick. If you ever want to read something good, read that.
Probably helps with stories, eh?
Yes, it does. It's the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. I think she has the 5th edition or 2nd edition. I'm not sure which one. Let's see. Commonly asked questions. I don't want to hear all this. I want to know the actual differences. This is a terrible article, WebMD. A sociopath typically has a conscience, but it's weak. They may know that taking your money is wrong, and they might feel some guilt or remorse, but that won't stop their behavior. Both lack of empathy, the ability to stand in someone else's shoes and understand how they feel, but a psychopath has less regard for others. Someone with this personality type sees others as objects he can use for his own benefit. Well, both of those things are mean. They're not always violent. Let's see here. In movies and TV shows, psychopaths and sociopaths are usually the villains who kill or torture innocent people. In real life, some people with antisocial personality disorder can be violent, but most are not. Instead, they use manipulation and reckless behavior to get what they want. Let's see, there's a quotation here from Kipri. It says, "At worst, they're cold, calculating killers." Kipri says, "Others," he says, "are skilled at climbing their way up the corporate ladder, even if they have to hurt someone to get there." If you recognize some of these traits in a family member or coworker, you may be tempted to think you're living with a psycho or sociopath. But just because a person is mean or selfish doesn't necessarily mean they have the disorder. So what does it mean? That's where it ends. It doesn't even tell you how to know if you have the disorder.
I guess they don't want people self-diagnosing. Oh, let's see. Timothy says, "Oh, damn, you have the same source of info." Well, ignore my link. Sure, he did. Let's see. Lorenzo says, "I think a lot of people in comic book scene are mentally ill." Mallet's saying, "Yeah, too many people in that box say that he doesn't want anything to do with."
Okay, so I understand this quiz is meant as an educational tool and is no substitute for a formal diagnosis. Only a licensed mental health professional or doctor can provide a formal diagnosis of antisocial personality disorder, sociopathy, or psychopathy. Okay, I'm going to take a test right now to see if I am psychopath, sociopath, or antisocial personality disorder.
Oh, geez.
Are you okay with that, Rick?
Sure. We get to have the. I think we should go longer in time if it takes just to get the answer.
I hope it doesn't take a very long time, but
yeah, I hope it doesn't take more than 10 minutes either.
all right. Do you repeatedly lie to or trick others for your own gain or pleasure? And then it goes from always to never and some answers in between. I would say sometimes to often. Let's go with that. Do I act impulsively? Often, yes. Do I fail to plan ahead? Often. Do I consistently fail to fulfill work obligations? Often, yes. Do you consistently fail to fulfill financial obligations? Rarely.
I don't think you fulfill your work obligations.
All right, I'll put that as sometimes then. Have I ever engaged in criminal behavior? Sometimes. Do you find yourself unable to empathize with others dealing with difficult situations? Yes, often. If you hurt someone else's feelings, do you lack remorse or guilt? Yeah, always. Are you aggressive? I don't think that's another thing. Do they mean like only physically aggressive? I'm not physically aggressive.
Yeah. Rick is failing all these questions.
I'll say sometimes. Let's see. Do I engage in unnecessary risk-taking or dangerous behavior with no regard for the safety of myself or others? No. No. I do not engage in unnecessary risk-taking. Do you consider yourself superior to others?
Yes.
Yes.
He does.
Do I use wit, humor, or charm to manipulate others for my own benefit? Yes. Okay. That's it. That's the whole test. All right, let me see if I can get these results calculated. Gotta type in this CAPTCHA here.
Mallet says he's going to have to listen to this part later since he's actually working. I might actually have to listen to it again and answer those questions. Although, unless you probably have to hit, something to tell you afterwards too. So, hit a link to calculate or whatever.
Yeah, it's gonna calculate. It's probably gonna take a while. Let's see.
So maybe put that link if people want it. If you can, put a link to that site in the chat, in that test. Afterwards in the chat. Raggedy says the one I had to take to be a deputy was over 200 questions. Oh, wow. Lorenzo, are these questions from the DSM?
Yes, they are. All right, it's calculating. Okay, so maybe this wasn't a comprehensive enough test because it's telling me that I definitely have antisocial personality disorder. It says, John, the behavior you described is consistent with people who have been diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder. A person must be at least 18 years old to receive a diagnosis of antisocial personality disorder, and a diagnosis of APD will not be given if the behaviors are due to symptoms of schizophrenia or bipolar. This quiz is not a substitute for a proper diagnosis. If you think you may be suffering from ASD, we encourage you to schedule an appointment with your doctor or other mental health professional. So I ranked moderate to severe.
And what was the definition again for being that in the stuff that it said before you took the test?
Let's go back to that. Hold on.
Dragon says. John's a serial killer confirmed.
Well, it says in the definition that most times they are not violent. Okay, so I do have a conscience, so I'm not a psychopath.
No.
However, my conscience is very weak.
According to that, possibly.
See, it says here a psychopath, which I am not. See, a psychopath does not have a conscience. If he will lie to you so he can steal your money and will not feel any moral qualms, though they may pretend to. They may observe others and then act the way they do so that they are not found out. So they study people that feel remorse or feel, empathy, and they pretend to feel that way.
Yeah, I don't think you feel remorse and all that. I think for people and all that, you just don't like to hear the stories usually. I think it's more for you. You use, and I could be wrong. You usually have enough of your problems. You don't need to hear everybody else's.
Well, yeah, don't you?
A lot of times, yeah, I'm probably the same way.
I mean.
But sometimes, a lot of times,
it's not that I can't say, hey, I recognize that you have problems and that they're very important to you.
It's just they're not important to me.
Yeah. Kind of like, and I don't think I'm very far off when I say, everybody, likes their own dog.
Yeah.
But not everybody likes everybody else's dogs.
Yeah. Not everybody likes dogs. Period. So why would you expect them to like your dog if they don't like dogs in the first place?
No, even if they do like dogs, that's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
you're talking about a psychopath now that has no feelings at all. No, I mean if just because like your own kid, everybody thinks their own kid is very beautiful and brilliant and smart. I met a lot of kids in my day, and not all kids are beautiful, brilliant, and smart.
True.
Like, what's her name? That lady that was in her stream, she was telling me on her, her sob story about how she was abused and whatever. And the first thing that came to my head was like playing a tiny violin. And so I told her that, and then she got all mad. But it's just, I mean, that's just the way it is. Like, I just don't care.
See, therein lies your problem. You won't even pretend that you care.
Well, I mean, that doesn't mean that that doesn't mean that I can't, kind of put myself in their shoes and understand that it's an issue for them.
Yeah, I get that. I'm not saying that's what you're saying.
I actually have feelings, and I understand what feelings are. But they're yours. They're not mine. Why would I care?
Psycho Explorers live on stream, says Joshua. Timothy says the bodies are hidden all around this little office there. Jogger goes missing, laugh out loud. They call him the Mexican Ripper.
That's outrageous. I just proved live on stream that I am not a psychopath. I just have a little bit of an antisocial personality disorder. Now I need to find out what Rick's deal is. I gotta find a test to figure out what the hell is wrong with Rick.
Oh, I'm just
because
crazy.
There's something seriously wrong.
I'm just crazy. Oh, Rebellious says she's back.
Welcome back, Rebellious.
Timothy.
So if I have antisocial personality disorder, that makes me a victim, right, Rick?
Can.
That means that I am someone to be pitied.
Yes.
I am suffering with this ailment. I wasn't born with the privilege of being, well adjusted.
He says, "Oh, Rick is definitely a sociopath. Rick is just a weirdo like most of us," said Timothy. Lorenzo, it wouldn't be in John's enlightened self-interest to physically harm anyone. Timothy, earlier said, now being serious, sometimes the stories are a bit much, so I get it, John. Yeah, and the thing is, everybody has a sob, or almost everybody has a sob story.
And Timothy says, I already pity you, John, even before we knew this stuff. Well, thank you, Timothy.
John took a test to see whether he had antisocial behavior, was a sociopath, or psychopath, or not at all. Any of those. And it came back with John as antisocial behavior problem. Rebellious. So we're just making fun of John now because of it. We're making fun.
What you shouldn't do that, Rick. I'm suffering with this disease. I have a bona fide mental disorder.
Oh, that proves nothing. You gotta go get diagnosed by a doctor.
What do you mean that proves nothing?
Hey, it just said this doesn't prove. It said itself it doesn't prove nothing. You gotta get diagnosed by a doctor to be sure.
That's right, Timothy. You can't tell me that stuff. None of this is even true until I get it diagnosed.
Rick brags about making fun of them. Oh, nobody said John was mentally handicapped.
I have a disorder, Rick. You know how some people say, I like everything to be in order?
Yeah.
There's no way I can do that because my brain is disordered. It has a disorder.
Oh, everybody's does.
My brain is broken, Rick. Don't be an ableist, like Joshua says. I should get a handicap placard. That's what I should get.
As Mallet said earlier, seems everybody nowadays is diagnosed with something. I haven't taken the test yet. Timothy sent it. Let's see.
Take the test, Rick. Unless you're a filthy coward and you're scared to take the test.
I bring it up where it's at the bottom, which...
What the hell is emotional hypochondria?
Hypochondriac. So you're a hypochondriac, but not, for physical ailments. Just
so a hypochondriac is somebody that thinks they have a bunch of diseases or is scared of diseases.
Think they have, they see little bits of, the possible things they read everything into, things thinking they do. Okay, where's this test on this page? I don't see it. So you were reading the article Psychopath versus Sociopath versus Psychopath. What's the difference? You were reading that one, right?
Yes.
And that's where you got
the test? No, I have no idea.
You have no idea where you got that test from?
Correct. Just type in psychopath. Am I a psychopath test?
I was wanting to take the exact same one you did. Rick, have you ever been diagnosed for any mental or physical disorders? No.
Here, I'll send you the link to the test, Rick. You guys in the chat should probably take this test as well, especially Timothy. There's the test right there.
Did you DM it or?
No, I put in the link to the chat. They need it too, Rick, not just you. You're not the only crazy person here.
I understand this quiz is meant as an education.
Lorenzo says, wouldn't a hypochondriac think they have antisocial personality disorder?
Possibly. Rick Mallet says he finds it hard to believe. Okay, do you repeatedly lie to or trick others for your own gain or pleasure? I'll say rarely. Do you act impulsively? Sometimes. Do you fail to plan ahead? I'll say sometimes. Do you consistently fail to fulfill your work obligations? Consistently? I'll say rarely. Do you consistently fail to fulfill your financial obligations? I'll say rarely. Have you ever engaged in criminal behavior? I have to say rarely. I did a couple of dumb things as a kid.
Did you go to the store without your mask on, Rick?
Yep. My mom says I'm back just in time to say bye. Do you find yourself unable to empathize?
Yeah, Mallet says what work obligation?
Hey, there's getting my book out and getting it to people. That's a work obligation. There's doing this stream every day. To me, it's work.
Raggedy wants to make sure you're aware that pirating shows is criminal behavior. So would you like to change that answer from sometimes to all the time?
I put rarely, so I'll put sometimes.
You have to put often.
No, I meant to having done criminal stuff in the past.
Just because you've done criminal stuff doesn't mean that you are a criminal.
Do you find yourself unable to empathize with others dealing with difficult? I'll say never. If you hurt someone else's feelings, do you lack remorse or guilt? Rarely.
Raggedy does say every day is considered often, Rick.
Well, I don't do it every day. Are you aggressive? Rarely, I'd say.
You are sometimes aggressive, Rick.
Okay, I'll bump it up if you think sometimes.
I don't know. Ask Linda if you're aggressive when she comes in to interrupt you while you're streaming.
Well, that's just being assertive, not aggressive. There's a difference. I am nowhere near extremely aggressive. Raggedy. Only aggressive to the chat. Do you engage in unnecessary risk-taking or dangerous behavior with no regard to your... I'll say rarely. Probably never, but...
That's one thing that for sure I do not do.
Do you consider yourself superior to others? Never.
Shut up. Oh, you're so fake humble.
It's true, though.
It wasn't like 2 days ago you were on a stream saying you were a better drawer than some other streamer. You're like, if you think I'm a bad artist, you should see this guy.
Well, that's not about being superior. That's just about judging talent. I don't think myself superior in any way.
Raggedy says, Joshua, was Rick aggressive to you about the Spider-Man mask? Yeah, you almost flew off the handle on that one, Rick.
Rick is lying on the test. No. You
can't lie on the test, Rick. That's the whole thing not worth it.
I use the comparison I think that is good, and other people have compared me to Stan Lee too. Do you use charm or wit to manipulate others for your own benefit?
You have neither, so no, never.
I'm going to say rarely. Please enter to prove you are human.
Now, don't forget to go to the top of the page and click that box that says that you acknowledge that this is not a formal diagnosis.
Yeah, I already did that. I did that one.
Okay.
Okay, do a good remedy. Do. Well, it put me your results. Antisocial personality disorder test. Your answer suggests low indication of that pattern of behavior. I'm not human, right? Okay, Linda, I expect you need
So wait a minute. So they're telling you that you are not antisocial. You don't have this disorder.
Yeah.
So this is just how you act on purpose, not without a disorder.
I guess so.
Well, that's unfortunate, Rick, because the only reason I tolerate all the shenanigans you pull is I thought you had a disorder.
Well, it says low indication. It's not completely nil, you know. It's bordering here. It's got border between the green and the yellow. So with the indicator.
Wait, you were in the green and yellow?
Well, I'm not sure whether it's the same. Maybe they use the same icon for all of them. I don't know.
Raggedy says they normally give these tests with a lie detector hooked up. See, that's the thing. You were lying on your test. That's the problem.
No, what's it?
And the thing is, you were lying on your test, but you don't think that you were lying, which puts you solidly in the category of psychopath. Because you actually believe these fake answers that you're giving. I gotta get cigarettes. Are you gonna keep going?
I don't know. Maybe for a couple minutes. They're normally give you
A couple of minutes or until 3?
I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm doing at this point. Mallet says, so John asked Rick what is actually wrong with him.
Well, what's actually wrong with you then?
I don't know. Who said there's anything wrong? Who said there's anything wrong with me? Maybe it's...
Mallet says, Rick, do a spectrum test. I want to do a spectrum test. Okay. Do me a favor, Rick. Can you do me a favor?
Sure.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
What?
I'll do it on my channel if you don't want to. But I want to take a spectrum test, and I want you to take a spectrum test.
Okay.
What is it? It's the autism test, right? The autism spectrum test. My wife is 100% certain that I'm somewhere very, very far to the end of the spectrum on the autism test. So I want to see about that. I forgot that they have these tests online, but I have to run to the store real quick and get some cigarettes. So I don't know. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I can do it. Does Mallet have a particular one in mind, or should we just like type it in and then?
Your mom says that your problem is that you're stubborn, Rick.
Yeah.
All right, fine. I'm gonna go run to the store. Somebody find, or Rick, you find. I don't know, a spectrum test, an autism spectrum test, a good one, a nice long one that's very thorough.
Okay, Mallet? Do you have any particular? I don't have, but I.
All right, Rick, I'll be back.
He has to go back to work. Do we need a GFM for Rick to stay in the asylum? Use the DSM test, says thing. Oh, Lorenzo. Where do I find this test, Lorenzo? This DSM test. How many signatures are needed for middling this now? Well, this stream seems to have gone off the wires, off track. Should I just type in DSM test? Okay, so I'll wait till John gets back. To start this, we'll do it at the same time, and there are 50 questions for anybody who's wondering. So while we're waiting for John, anything anybody else wants to talk about? Oh, everybody that doesn't know yet, the guy that has been drawing up the Canadian Shield #2 has agreed to do Snowdrift #1. And when I go to do pre-launch for the Canadian Shield, people that buy a physical tier once it's launched are the people that sign up beforehand, that is, with the pre-launch, are going to get this trading card. This will be the front. The back will hopefully be power stuff, showing on a scale of 1 to 7 or 1 to 10 or something like that. Where he ranks with power, intelligence, and a bunch of stuff like that. Durability, stamina. And this art, the original art, before it was colored, was by Eric Minotowski. He did do it on a Fan Art Friday, and I colored it in. Nothing yet, Timothy. Or you did miss me. Did you see me doing the test that John did? Yeah, I asked him right on stream, Bullet. I typed it in the chat and he said I could use it for free. I got low. Did I still have it up? I don't think I got it still up. I think I had low on it. No. When John stepped out for a sec to get some cigarettes, when he comes back, we're both going to be doing an autism spectrum quotient, an autism test. Well, that's what we agreed for, Timothy. So. It said I was low for antisocial thing. I don't think that test is whether you're crazy or not. Anyways. Do they have a test for you? Hello, you have fooled. You may fool the Canadian slasher. Turn that down a bit, Mom, please. So yeah, so that's cool being able to get that. Also, I did get, as some may or may not know, I got the money from Indiegogo last week. I ordered the books on Saturday. They should be in by the end of the month. Around the end of the month. So, anybody who ordered stuff, hopefully, I see no reason why by the end of April you should be getting your coloring book. Really need to make all these letters white. I'm Googling how many go missing. Canadian slasher. Yeah, but that sounds more like a villain that you'd have in another country. Probably order one. No, I did not order any more business cards, Mallet. Maybe you should. I don't think I need any more at the moment. How about Canadian Flasher? The business cards are to make his victims. Oh, you guys are crazy. You think I'm crazy? You guys make me look sane. So yeah, a whole bunch of good news coming out for Cost Comics this week. So that will mean I'm delivering like 2 months early. And hopefully by the summer or end of summer, we are starting the campaign for the Canadian Shield 2 and Snowdrift number 1. Timothy says, I'm the picture of sanity. I wish. I don't know what to do while waiting for John. I think I'm in the link group. Yeah, you are if you want to come on. That laugh did not sound like the Joker. Joker link. Sort of did. Yeah, I believe you are, Lorenzo. Oh, but I didn't send it to the group. If you want in here, I'll send you the link. Not much. We're just seeing how crazy me and John are. Marsupial. Actually, it's Dillard that's high, antisocial disorder, and me that's low. Timothy. Hey, Lorenzo. Did you? Howdy. Did YouTube change everything? What do you mean, did YouTube change everything? Marsupial? How are you doing today, Lorenzo?
I'm doing well. I'm going to turn on captions. That's always fun. It tries to guess what you're saying.
Yeah. Regularly says, murderers in Hamilton really skyrocketed in late 70s, early 80s. Well, that can't be me. I was like 7 at the beginning of the 80s.
That's about a perfect time to start off.
Everything's all white outlines all of a sudden. Okay. Hold on, I need to see what's... Okay, that sounds like your end. It looks like it's going across fine for me. Perfect time to start off.
Yeah, like, well, why not start when you're a toddler?
Well, only if
A
you're
toddler serial killer.
only if you're
Damien.
Damien. Hey,
Yeah, what was that from, Damien?
yeah, from the Omen.
Oh yeah. That was a messed up movie. I saw that a few years ago.
Hello.
Hey, Lorenzo's on with us now.
Welcome back.
What's up, Lorenzo?
Hey, I'm not even gonna bother taking this. I've already been diagnosed
By a medical professional?
Yeah.
So
Wait a minute. But somebody more competent than Rick?
Yeah, by somebody more competent than Rick.
I believe it.
I DM'd you the link that Raggedy gave. It's 50 questions.
50 questions? That sounds official. Alright, let me go take a look.
Yeah, I'm not sure that other... I'm having a hard time believing that other test was official, because what were there, like 10 questions?
Yeah.
Something like that. Well, they say...
They're all kind of vague. They seem like it all depended on how one answered them.
Yeah, they're like horoscope answers. They barely, it could apply to anybody.
It's like...
No, Lorenzo's not taking the test too. As he said, he's already taken it. He's already been diagnosed.
Well, I took one when I was a kid. I was diagnosed with pervasive developmental disorder, not otherwise specified.
What does that mean, PD?
I have no clue. I think somebody had to be autistic to come up with that. And then later on, I was diagnosed as just having I think it was like traditional Connor's autism, because I had a slight delay in speech as a child. Oh, slight delay forming sentences, I think it was.
Did you already take this test, Rick?
No, I waited for you.
Oh, cool. Okay, so you want to do it together?
Where is the test? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to have to look in the...
Lorenzo, you should look at the test and tell us if this looks legit.
Here, I just DM'd you the test, Lorenzo. And Twitter. So there are 4 basic answers to all the questions. Definitely agree, slightly disagree, or definitely disagree.
Already I'm liking this test because there's no middle of the road, I can go either way kind of answer you can put. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Rick was first artist ever for autistic. He was the original test subject injected with the autism virus. Or vaccines, says Joshua. Okay, so question 1 is, I prefer to do things with others rather than on my own. It's hard. I'm either going slightly agree or slightly disagree.
I definitely disagree with this. I would much rather, in almost every aspect, including sex, prefer to do things by myself than with others.
Where is this test? I'll send you the link, Marsupial.
Yeah, I'm going to have to slightly agree with that.
Okay.
You like doing things with other people?
Wait, I prefer to do things with others? I'm going to slightly disagree.
Yeah, that's what I said. I definitely disagree. Like, even when, almost every aspect, helping somebody move, I will go there and I will help you move. Do not try to pick up the other side of this thing. I don't want to die. I don't want to have a conversation. I just want to get the work done.
I'm going to say I slightly agree.
I do prefer doing other things with others.
Yeah, most of the time. Sometimes. It's weird. There's some things, I would say yes to. Some things I'd say no to. But,
okay, I prefer to do things the same way, over and over again. I hate mundane, repetitive tasks. I always like things changing, so I'm going to definitely disagree.
I'm gonna slightly disagree.
I don't even like working on the same comic book for more than one page.
Marshall,
People have tried to get you to draw the foundations before drawing a comic, and you need.
Oh yeah, Rick loves doing the same thing over and over again.
Did you ever even try that, or do you prefer to do things the same way over? Well, I don't know. But that's somebody's drawing style.
I think we all know the answer to that question.
50.
Because I think I do prefer doing things the same way over and over again. But is it a slightly agree or a definitely agree? I guess it'd be definite.
Marsupial says 50 questions. I definitely disagree with doing this test. Breathe says Mallet. Timothy says, you know who is never alone? Someone with a split personality.
Alright, if I try to imagine something, I find it very easy to create a picture in my mind. Absolutely agree.
Slightly or definitely?
Okay, question number 4.
I'm going to go definitely.
Yeah, I just slightly disagree with the whole image thing. I kind of have a hard time sometimes.
See, me, I can picture it in full high def, in 4K.
Yeah,
I cannot get it onto my paper. That's the problem.
Yeah. I frequently get strongly absorbed in one thing that I lose sight of other things.
That is 100% me. Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that myself.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely slightly agree.
All right. I often notice small sounds when others do not.
I'm going to say definitely disagree.
Really? I used to. My mom, when I was a little kid, my mom noticed that her fridge was like the food in the fridge was getting warm, and she had to throw it out or whatever. And then it turned out I had turned off somehow, like unplugged the fridge or turned off the fridge. I think I was like 2 years old, so I'm going to definitely agree with that.
Okay, what about this? I usually notice car number plates or similar strings of information. I don't unless they're out of normal, right? And like you notice a car license plate when it's like a vanity plate, right? But normally you don't notice that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So do you guys have any super sensitive hearing or anything? Because
I do have good hearing. And I do notice things when
because even the hum of the fridge drove me crazy. So kind of somehow unplugged it or turned it off or something.
Dude, I sit here with my earphones,
good.
my streaming earphones in my ears, because even in dead silence, because the fan, the little pad that my laptop sits on, the fan, that little computer fan, kills me. So I have to plug my ears so I don't hear it.
Yeah, that's why I have a Chrome. One of the reasons I have a Chromebook is it's really quiet, and even then it's still too noisy sometimes.
Okay, so I'm going to definitely disagree with that.
7.
Other people... Go ahead.
Go ahead, you can read it.
Number 7. Other people frequently tell me what I've said is impolite, even though I think it's impolite. Okay, I'm going to agree with that one.
I definitely agree with that in my case. Disagree about the strings of numbers. Definitely disagree.
I'm going to go slightly disagree. Although, do you actually think what you've said is polite, John?
Well, here's the thing. I don't think what I say is polite, but I don't think the things that I say are impolite.
Okay.
Well, that's kind of a nuanced. I don't see they don't have that sort of nuanced answer on there.
Question number 9.
8.
Oh, I'm sorry. Number 8. When I'm reading a story, I can easily imagine what the characters might look like.
I'm gonna go slightly agree.
I definitely disagree because all humans look alike. And there's very few books, and at least in this dimension, that have altrusions in there. So
All right. I am fascinated by dates, and I do believe they mean, dates as in like historical dates.
Yeah.
I would disagree with that.
Yeah, definitely disagree.
yeah, slightly
Okay.
disagree.
10. In a social group, I can easily keep track of several different people's conversations. That's a 100% disagree for me.
Yeah, I definitely disagree. I have a hard time on Discord because sometimes there'll be like 10 people in there in the chat. I have a hard time with
I'm gonna go slightly disagree.
streaming too when there's more than like 3 or 4 people. It's kind of confusing.
Okay, so number 11. I find social situations easy. I definitely agree with that.
Slightly disagree.
Oh, I'm going to definitely disagree. I'm awkward as hell in social situations.
All right. Number 12. I tend to notice details that others do not.
I'm gonna say slightly agree.
Yeah, I'm going to slightly agree with that myself.
I don't know. I have these big blind spots. Like I notice very small things, but there's some like big glaring things in my face that I just completely just go over my head. I don't know. I don't know what to put. I guess it's not details, right? I miss big things, not details.
Well, big things are details in a sense, but
All right, Rick. Number 13. I would rather go to a library than a party. Hell no, I'd rather be at a party.
I'll say slightly agree.
I'm going to slightly agree with that, but it's been so long since I've been able to go to a party or do much of anything.
Rick, you're going to have to put definitely
mind.
disagree for number 14.
I find making up stories easy.
Yes, I can make up a story on the spot. It's very easy for me.
Well, I'm going to say slightly disagree because I do make up some stories, from my comics.
I'm going to slightly disagree. I would think that Rick would find it kind of easy considering all the stories he has for his comics.
I don't know. Ask him to make up a backstory about one of his characters. He can't do
Oh, yeah.
Well, I do that. I'm not. Oh, no, that's just I find making up stories easier. I should be saying that slightly agree, not slightly disagree.
All right. Number 15. I find myself drawn more strongly to people than to things. I definitely disagree with that. I think things
Slightly disagree.
are much more interesting.
It's hard to put it whether it's slightly or definitely with something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I do like interacting with people.
Yeah, I'm gonna
At least online, but
I'm gonna put slightly agree. Let's see.
Interesting.
Here is a question: if you know if you know how someone is, then anything they say is ever not polite. Of course, Rick, you never read the chat correctly. Rick, you can't come up with stories because there's nothing to it.
what was that one?
Hey, I can come up with stories. Doesn't mean it's a new story.
He brought it around to the conversation earlier. We were talking about there's nothing new under the sun. Okay, so I tend to have very strong interests, which I get upset about if I can't pursue.
Oh, I'm going to strongly agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm going to definitely disagree.
What? So if you can't, you're not like strongly interested, like in say like comic books.
I'm interested, but I'm going to get upset if I can't pursue it.
If you can't like do your stream like twice a day,
Well, I won't get upset.
Oh, okay.
If Dave comes in and wants to hang out with you while you're trying to stream, you don't get upset?
No. I just tell him I'm streaming and he takes off.
If you can't stream because you have to go offline to go fix your camera, then you don't get upset?
No, not upset.
You're always upset. Okay, number 17. I enjoy social chit-chat. I do enjoy social chit-chat.
Huh. I'm gonna strongly disagree. Well, would be strong or slightly.
What are you talking about? You're online right now having social chit-chat.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
Okay, I
I
slightly disagree.
I
I don't like small talk. That can get kind of.
I'm just not good.
This
I'm
is
just
small
not,
talk.
I'm just not good at it. Do I enjoy it? Yeah. It's not a question of whether you are good at it, it's whether you enjoy it.
All right, when I talk, it isn't always easy for others to get a word in edgewise. Are you a chatty Cathy?
Definitely.
I'm gonna definitely agree with that myself. People often say that about me.
I don't know. Do I agree with that?
Fascinated by numbers. I'm gonna say definitely disagree.
He says, I'm beginning to think most of Rick's problems come from him not knowing the definition of upset. I know the definition of upset, and I know when I am upset.
Rick, stop getting all upset. Take it easy.
I'm not. I am fascinated by numbers.
I'm not. I seen a movie one time called Pi. It was pretty good, but
Yeah, that was a fascinating movie, but
I don't think I'm fascinated with numbers at all.
yeah, they just made it really interesting the way they did that movie. It was just so bizarre. I think that's what got my attention.
All right. When I'm reading a story, I find it difficult to work out the character's intentions.
Oh, fascinated by numbers. I have to slightly disagree.
I agree. I slightly agree with that. I'm not a very good. I'm not very good at active comprehension when I'm reading a story. I find it more troublesome to actually get through the reading. I guess that's probably why.
I'm gonna slightly disagree. I usually can get characters' intentions.
I would somewhat agree.
Timothy,
Number 21.
Nobody on this stream has ever seen me actually get upset.
Number 21. I don't particularly enjoy reading fiction. That's a big agree for me.
That's fake stories? Like,
Correct. No, that's not true. I strongly agree. Never mind. So
I'm gonna slightly disagree.
So that'd be
I
like
like books on tape with
novels.
Fiction. Though I typically will read, if I read something, it's a lot easier for me to read like a newspaper article or something, or an essay, something. As long as it's nonfiction, it's easier for me to read. But I enjoy the story.
okay, so I find it hard to make new friends.
I'm going to say slightly agree. And hello, Marco. I'm good. Right now, we got into my chat a little earlier about autism, and me and my friends here, John Dillard and Lorenzo Sleestak, are taking a test.
So this is very confusing. What sort of friend are they talking about? Are they talking about like making somebody like a friendly acquaintance, or somebody who's like someone's, my buddy or something? Because like
probably a buddy.
Yeah, as far as buddies, I'm going to.
If it's actual buddy, then
I think it's kind of difficult for me. But as far as making lots of like friendly acquaintances, I'm good with that.
That is confusing. Like, for instance, for me, I find it very easy to make new acquaintances and even friends, but I live hard and fast, and those friends burn out also very fast. I lose new friends very fast as well.
I would say I strongly agree, but it's very kind of, I don't know.
That might have been on the way to getting upset, if I remember Mallet correctly, but that wasn't me upset.
Yeah, the great thing about that, though, was that was not even me. But it was such a good joke to claim that it was, and you got so pissed about it. It was just classic. It was a classic YouTube. And then you got all mad at that poor kid.
What was this all about? I missed this.
Rick had a new viewer come into the chat and was chatting, and he was like from Brazil or South America or something. And Rick was having a long conversation and Rick was spending a good 40 minutes explaining who he is and his entire universe. And then I was thinking, man, it would be hilarious if I claimed that I was that kid, so that Rick would get pissed about wasting his whole time describing his universe.
Oh no.
And then I did, and then Rick got so angry, I think he almost ended the stream. But like he never got that it was a joke. And every time that kid would show up, he would think it was me.
Oh no!
No, I don't think I did, but I could be wrong. Anyways, Timothy, I never said I didn't get upset. I forget what the question was about being upset. Whether you easily get upset or not. I said I don't easily get upset.
All right, I notice patterns in things all the time.
I put slightly agree to that.
I also slightly agree.
No, I do not flip tables and hit my mother, Joshua. I wouldn't do something like that, but
damn,
I do rant and rave. My mom has seen me upset. She could probably tell you that anything you guys have seen online isn't close to me being upset.
You heard it here, folks. You have never and will never get to meet the real Rick Piper.
I'd rather go to a theater than to a museum. Do they mean movie theater?
Maybe. Probably.
I don't think it matters either way. They're just talking about like a social, being somewhere with a bunch of other people, I guess, is what they're talking about.
Yeah, a play rather than a museum.
Or a movie, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think they care either way.
Number 25. It does not upset me if my daily routine is disturbed. I would definitely disagree. I hate my routine getting disturbed.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely disagree. I'm going to slightly disagree about the theater thing. Because, I don't know. It's cool to see the movie on a big screen, but I don't always like to be with a bunch of people.
I just read number 26.
And I slightly agree about the patterns thing.
Rick, that's not a good thing.
You notice patterns and stuff?
Yeah, I can notice certain patterns, not mathematical.
The only thing that I notice that catches my eye frequently and gets me angry is when I see things that are not symmetrical and they could be. Like I walked into my mom's apartment, right? Or I walked into her apartment complex, and somebody had two pots. There were two planter pots that had flowers in them. One was on the right side of the door, and the other was off the left side of the door in the dirt. I was like, why don't you just move that thing next to the door?
Huh. Are they talking about physical patterns or just patterns in how things work?
No, cops don't show up to my house consistently because I don't get upset that often.
Okay, number 26. I frequently find that I don't know how to keep a conversation going.
Yeah,
I definitely disagree.
Strongly agree. Definitely agree.
I find it easy to read between the lines when someone is talking to me. I strongly agree.
I slightly agree.
Number 28. I usually concentrate more on the whole picture rather than on the small details. No, I get lost in the details.
Slightly agree.
Okay, number 29. I am not very good at remembering phone numbers. I strongly agree.
I used to be really good at it. Now that I've been programming cell phones for the last 15 years, I've gotten.
Well, like if somebody tells you, like, hey, Rick, remember this number, 4572. And then, like, they'll ask you about it later. Will you remember the number?
Probably not. Not anymore, anyways.
Yeah, I used to be good at numbers, but then people all switched from their landlines to cell phones, and then they kept changing their cell phone numbers.
Yeah.
Or like for instance, you look up somebody's address and you're like, oh, okay, I get to Shire Lane, and then I got to go to 9197 Shire Lane, and then you got to look it up again on your phone as you arrive there because you forgot the number.
Yeah, it used to be that.
Like I said, I used to be good at that, but I think, using cell phones to program stuff or computers or whatever, all this stuff in your phones or whatever, so you can look it up at a moment's notice. My memories, they say you don't use something, you lose it, right?
That is something people say.
So I'm not
all right.
there.
Number 30. I don't usually notice small changes in a situation or a person's appearance. I definitely agree with that.
I somewhat agree with this. Somebody changes their appearance too much, I might not even recognize them.
Damn.
Yeah, it is rebellious. We got taking a autism test. Me, Dillard, and
you should retitle this stream. What the hell is wrong with us? We're gonna get to the bottom of what exactly is wrong with each and every one of us. What's the next question?
31. Okay. I know how to tell if somebody is getting bored. Someone listening to me is getting bored. I'll disagree. Slightly disagree.
I would strongly disagree. I have no clue. If they're using just the visual, like, they're using just, like, cues, I'm not going to pick up on that.
Really? I'm very good at that.
Huh.
And it's unfortunate because a lot of people do get very bored when I speak to them.
I mean, I'll pick it up sometimes, and
it has to be like an audible yawn.
Maybe.
All right, number 32. I find it easy to do more than one thing at once. Hell no. That is very difficult for me to do more than one thing at a time.
I slightly disagree.
I'm going to slightly disagree. It's probably really difficult if it's doing it efficiently. I tend to try to multitask a lot, but tend to be I should say strongly.
And what should I agree to, Timothy? When I talk on the phone, I'm not sure when it's my turn to speak. Definitely.
I would strongly agree with that myself.
Times change. Yeah. Screw with me. Laugh out loud, says Rebellious.
No, I strongly disagree. I always know when it's my turn to speak.
Yeah, which is all the time, right?
Yes.
Well, I enjoy doing spontaneous things. I will slightly agree.
Maybe sometimes, but I'm gonna strongly disagree because it can be really freaking annoying. Even if somebody springs something on me, that's really annoying. If it's my idea to do something spontaneously.
Oh, I know what I'm boring
I know exactly
you.
what you mean, Lorenzo. And I'm
Timothy.
the exact same way. So
Timothy,
I don't know how to answer this either.
Timothy, I know when I'm boring you guys, which is most of the time. There's just not much I can do about it. I am often the last to understand the point of a joke. I'm going to say slightly disagree.
I'm going to say this. I understand most jokes immediately. But a lot of times, some jokes are just too smart for me, and it doesn't matter how long I chew on it, I'm not going to get it. So I'm going to say I strongly agree that I can get the point of a joke.
Yeah, but you're saying you're often the last to understand the point. So you understand the point of the joke. It's just not funny to you for whatever reason.
Right. Like, I don't know who this person in history is, so I don't get the joke,
Yeah, so you would say you strongly disagree because you're not the last to understand it. You understand it. At least in my opinion.
No, you're right. You're right.
I'm going to somewhat agree, but there are a lot of jokes that I don't always get the point of. Not sure if I'm going to be the absolute last person. It's better. Like if I'm on a panel with Nasser's going to get it later than I'm going to get it.
That's probably true. All right, number 36. I find it easy to work out what someone is thinking or feeling just by looking at their face.
Oh boy.
I definitely agree with that.
I'm going to strongly disagree with this.
I'm going to say slightly agree.
Okay, number 37. If there is an interruption, I can switch back to what I was doing very quickly. No, that usually takes me out of it for the rest of the day when I get into it.
Yeah, I'm going to strongly disagree with this. It might not take me a day, but it's going to be really...
I'm going to
be jarring.
I'm going to slightly agree.
I am good at social chit-chat.
This is either slightly disagree or completely... I'll say slightly disagree. I'm not terrible.
Yeah, slightly disagree.
I'm not terrible. Raggedy says there's a difference between getting a joke and finding it funny.
It's true. I don't find a lot of things funny just because I watch a lot of funny things, so you got to step it up. All right, people often tell me that I keep going on and on about the same thing. Do people tell me that? No, people always ask me, whatever happened to that other thing you were talking about?
I'm going to say slightly disagree. I don't think people say I keep going on and on about the same thing.
No, they don't.
Yeah, people tell me that quite frequently, so I'll strongly agree. I'll admit it.
All right. When I was young, this is question number 40. We only got 10 questions left. When I was young, I used to enjoy playing games involving pretending with other children.
This is a confusing one for me.
Would that mean like cowboys and Indians and
Yes.
stuff?
Yeah, some of the things I thought were kind of lame, but there was like something like Transformers or GoBots or something I did.
Yeah,
but are you strictly, like, for instance, right now my child is very young, so all she does is just mimic things she sees on the TV. Like, she'll have her Peppa Pig doll and the Mama Peppa Pig doll, and she'll just say the things they say to each other on the show. Do you use your toys with your imagination to pretend and make things up?
So, I would say...
Or did you enjoy doing that when you were a kid,
I'd say it's somewhat... Oh, with other children.
Yeah, you
So
know,
that's
like playing
that would
superhero,
be the key part.
cops and robbers, cowboys and Indians.
Yeah, I didn't like having handcuffs put on me as a kid. I
Well,
broke some kids' plastic handcuffs, but I would somewhat agree. Sometimes I preferred like
yeah, but overall,
having other. Well, sometimes I didn't always like the other kids part of it, but
but overall, you
yeah.
enjoyed the thing itself. You know, maybe sometimes there was
Yeah. I enjoyed pretending, but it says other children, so that's kind of so. When I was a kid, yes, sometimes I would like to get together with other children, and sometimes I'd be like just building Legos by myself. So,
Right. So
I'd say
you'd probably be in the like slightly agree or slightly.
Yeah. That's what I put.
All right, number 41. I like to collect information about categories of things, like types of cars, birds, trains, plants. I agree with that. I like
I
that.
would strongly agree.
Yeah, I think slightly agree.
Like with music, I'd like to find out what sort of genre, even though a lot of times something doesn't fit in perfectly.
Okay, number 42. I think this is like a clutch question here. I find it difficult to imagine what it would be like to be someone else.
I'm gonna say slightly disagree.
I'm going to say slightly agree.
Yeah, I slightly agree with that.
Number 43. I like to carefully plan any activities I participate in. I strongly disagree.
I'm going to somewhat agree. I found that I enjoyed my YouTube shows when I planned them out a little more. But I do enjoy a certain amount of chaos.
All right, that leads into question number 44. I enjoy social occasions.
I'm gonna slightly agree. And I slightly disagreed with the last one.
I'm going to slightly disagree with enjoying social occasions.
Raggedy says, "Oh, you're at the Peppa Pig stage, John." I'm so sorry, said Raggedy.
Oh my god, it was the most adorable and yet frustrating thing I'd ever experienced. I was taking my daughter out to go for a walk. We normally go for a walk around lunchtime. And I would not allow her to take, because we go for a walk in the backyard outside by the river. And I would not allow her to take her Peppa Pig and Mommy Pig and Daddy Pig plush toys because they would get dirty because it had rained, you know? If she drops them, they're going to get ruined. So I said, no, you can't bring those with you. And she immediately drops them all, throws herself on the floor, and starts to cry, throwing a fit, you know? And then I'm telling her, yeah, no, you're not doing it, you know? As she gets on her knees and makes this gesture with two hands and like gestures at the pigs with two hands and going, but Peppa. I was like, it broke my heart, but it was so. I really, really wanted to let her take Peppa, but I was like, no. But she was like, you don't understand. It's Peppa.
Sounds like she was trying to manipulate you.
Oh yeah, she did a real good job. I was very tempted. Big old tears coming down fake tears coming down the side of her face. It was hilarious. All right, number 45. I find it difficult to work out people's intentions. Okay, this is crazy because I'm very good at reading somebody's face. I'm good at reading a room. I'm good at reading a conversation. But I am terrible when somebody lies to me. I cannot. I am very bad at working out a lie. What do I put?
Maybe slightly disagree? Because at that point you can work out most people's intentions, just not if they're lying to you. But then again...
Okay.
Well, somebody's intentions, though, it's not like their mood; it's their intentions. So,
yeah.
I'm going to strongly agree. Though there are times when I think I can sometimes see somebody's intentions when others don't pick up on it, and then other times I'm just horrible at it.
Yeah, like the easy one would be like, your wife comes up to you and she's like, "Hey, John." You know what the intention's coming. She's got something for you to do. But
Yeah.
but most times I can't, dude. I cannot.
Yeah, I'm going to strongly agree with this, but
Yeah, I gotta strongly agree with this.
I'm slightly disagreeing. I think I can know people's intentions or work out their intentions. And it doesn't say, just on spotting them either, too, It could be with a little bit of a conversation. New 46. New situations make me anxious.
I would strongly agree with this.
Am I?
No, I don't get anxious over new situations.
I don't think I do either.
I enjoy meeting new people. I really do enjoy meeting new people. I would strongly.
I'm going to slightly agree with this.
Yeah, I guess.
I get nervous around people, but I do enjoy meeting people. So
Yeah.
it's just I have social anxiety. That kind of.
All right, we got 3 questions left. Rick, do you consider yourself a good diplomat?
Slightly.
Lorenzo, do you consider Rick a good diplomat?
Oh, I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure out if I am a good diplomat or a really bad one. Because I try to, oftentimes I try to be friends with people, even if like, say 2 people disagree, I might see, try to look for the good in both of them. But am I a really good diplomat, or?
Well, are you good at manipulating the situation so that you resolve tension, or are you bad at it?
Oh, I'm somewhat bad at that, I guess.
I would say that would make you a bad diplomat then.
But should I strongly
most
disagree
people,
or slightly disagree?
I would say that most people, like, they don't want people to fight in their presence, but some are very bad at preventing it or or changing the situation so that doesn't
Well, you
happen.
remember that situation I got in with you, and I was a pretty bad, awfully bad diplomat in that situation. It wasn't even anything that involved me, and I shouldn't even gotten involved at all. That was really dumb of me.
Like, Rick is terrible. Like he always has 2 people fighting on his show.
Yeah, but I do something about it.
I'm going to strongly disagree with this because I do get caught in the middle of a lot of stupid stuff. Like people do, even though there's not like much drama in my actual link groups, there are people leaving quite often because they get in situations where they disagree with each other, even though they might not argue in the group. So I guess that happens a lot with Twitter or Discord.
Yeah.
Maybe I could just ignore that part, but
What about in real life? Having people that do not agree with each other in your life. Like, say, for instance, like you have a brother and a sister-in-law that don't like each other. Are you able to work that kind of stuff out to a non-issue, or is it always?
Well, it won't be an issue.
Are things always blowing up in your life? You know what I mean?
It isn't typically an issue for me, and I can, I can often compartmentalize it, but I'm not the person who's going to work things out, though. So I guess I wouldn't be necessarily a good diplomat.
Joshua's putting a link to a video, like a horror video of Peppa Pig. All right, back to this. Okay. Question number 49. I am good at remembering people's date of birth.
Actually, not very good, it says.
I would strongly agree with that. I'm terrible with numbers.
All right.
Depends on how important it is to me, so I can slightly agree.
That is true. Like, I got friends that I've known since elementary, and don't know their date of birth, but I do know my niece's date of birth, my nephew. I guess it's because they expect you to know it,
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, last question. I find it very easy to play games with children that involve pretending.
I'm going to say
I'm pretty good
slightly.
at that.
Yeah, you probably have to have gotten good at it recently.
Yeah.
I'm going to slightly disagree, but I don't really end up in situations typically where, I mean, some of my friends have kids, but they tend to be pretty busy.
Okay, so I guess now it's time to score answers.
I got 41 out of 50.
I got 11 out of 50.
I find that hard to believe, Rick.
Scores.
I got 20 out of 50.
Scores in the 0 to 25 range indicate few or no autistic traits.
That's what they range it with? Half and half? 0 to 25, and then what, 25 to 50?
Scores in 33 to 50 range indicates significant autistic traits. I got 41 out of a possible 50. But then again, some of those questions are kind of subjective. Well, most of them are subjective.
I got scores. Yeah, it says indicates few or no autistic traits. All right, so that means that's not my problem. What is my problem then?
I thought we figured that out before this. You're antisocial.
Yeah, that's not a very thorough, and all these things should be administered by a psychiatrist.
Well, lots of
What the hell do they know?
Lots of
all they know how to do is show up to
depends.
class on time.
The thing about psychiatrists is kind of odd is a lot of them just administer. A lot of them will just give people medicine and not even any sort of counseling. So, other than being the ones that typically administer these tests, I don't know. Like I had to go see a psychiatrist to officially take one of these tests before.
I don't gotta go to a doctor for him to tell me that my bone is broken when it's sticking out of my arm.
I find that like a social worker or psychologist is better, though it all depends on the individual. Like some of them really suck, but I mean they'll at least try to. Some of them will at least try to offer some sort of therapy. Whereas a lot of psychiatrists, not all, but a lot of them are just into like pushing drugs.
Yeah. All right. So with that, maybe I'm just stupid.
You said it.
Rick!
Yeah.
I got an idea.
What is
Got an idea.
What is your idea?
We take an IQ test.
Oh, I've done those.
I don't want to take an IQ test.
Am I the only one who's exhausted after taking that test?
No.
No.
I also am exhausted, but it gave me no answers. And that was a long test.
Oh, we discussed a lot too. I think that made it longer too. Oh.
All right. Where can we take an IQ test that wouldn't take a long time and is also free? 'Cause I know they like to charge for those IQ tests.
I got 11. I have few or no autistic tendencies. Raggedy.
I find that hard to believe, Rick. No insult intended, because I'm quite high on there. And, okay.
Yeah, I got the lowest out of us.
Yeah, that's kind of hard to believe, Rick. Sorry.
Does anybody in the chat know where we can find a free IQ test that's not? Because a lot of these ones say free, but then you go to them and then they want you to put in your credit card information at the very end to get your result.
Nobody buys that.
I'm gonna have to dip out. I'm supposed to go to. I gotta go grocery shopping, and I was gonna meet up with my mom.
Okay, well, thanks for hanging out, Raggedy.
And Lorenzo got the highest, and Dillard got somewhere in the middle of us. What do you get, John?
I got 20.
Yeah, I find this hard to believe that John's more autistic than you, Rick. Just
Well, I'm honest with my answers.
yeah, I don't think Rick was. I think Rick tried being honest with his answers, but maybe, possibly.
I was honest, completely honest.
I believe that you believe you were being honest. Maybe you were honest, but not necessarily accurate. Because somebody can be, have an honest intention.
Yeah, you can be self-deluded, but
There you go, Rick. That's the term I was thinking.
I'm not
Searching
self-deluded.
for.
I know I'm not self-deluded.
I don't know. I think a lot of us are self-deluded. But I don't think you were like trying to. I don't think you were like deliberately trying to deceive anybody with your answers.
Yeah.
Rick, do you want to try to do an IQ test? I don't know if it's free, but I just found the first one that came up.
Sure, I'll do another one. DM me the link, unless you want to put it in the chat.
I will DM you the link. Here we go. I hope it works. I hope it's not some fool's errand. All right. It says you have 20 minutes to answer 20 multiple choice questions. Choose the answer for each question, A, B, C, or D. Skip a question if you're stuck and come back to it later. Let me know when you're ready to start.
So, take care, everybody.
All right, Lorenzo. I'll see you later.
See ya.
Preparing IQ test 1.1.
It says start IQ test and it's like blinking. So let me know when you're ready and we'll start together. And then it will be silent.
Okay,
Ready?
I'm ready. Here,
All
say
right.
allow.
3,
2, 1.
go. This is so hard. Incredible. If the population of an alien race doubles every 2 minutes. Oh my god. More cats than crows. Oh God, I'm so bad at math.
Like 25%, 5% less visitors.
What the hell?
Oh, I got 11 on it, Timothy. I'm low autism.
What is this here?
Dillard got 20. This is as long as I knew ever since. I'm not sure about that, but possibly.
Yeah, this is this requires all of my brain.
Yeah, jeez. It's hardly taking any of mine. I must admit, some of them I'm guessing. A couple of them I've guessed on.
I'm gonna have to skip that one. It's taking up too much of my brain. Which of the four choices is the odd one out? Oh, damn it. Oh, damn it, it didn't even let me answer that one. I skipped it and it said you can go back to it later, and then it just says submit my answers. Oh, that's terrible. Alright, submit my answers.
Uh,
Oh, forget it, Rick. It's asking you for money.
Hey.
What a waste. Hold on, my wife's calling me. Let's see what she wants real quick.
Uh-huh. Are they still? Well, I've just finished. Yeah, they want $2.
Hello?
Hello. They
All
want
right,
two-
I'm gonna have to go. This is a complete waste of time.
Yeah. Well, at least it only took about 8 minutes.
That's true.
Well, I'll find another one in the next couple days. I've taken them before.
Okay, we'll find one that we can take that that we want to pay for. But we'll do that, I don't know, later or something.
And you
But-
put in your email. They may or may not send it.
No, I already put in my email and they tell me to pick a package that I want.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. So anything you want to promote before you leave?
Yeah, the buckler. Go back the buckler again. It's looking so good. It's so good, Rick.
Cool. Okay, well, thanks, John and Lorenzo, for both coming on. Thanks, everybody, for coming by. It's been great having you all here. Of course, we will see you later tonight on After Dark. I'm not sure what I'm doing yet, so we'll catch you all later. Bye for now. God bless. Love you all. Have a great and wonderful